Welcome to video 6 on this series of videos looking at trading systems and how to compare trading systems. We want to see how to determine which are the good systems from the bad systems, which ones are maybe going to be considered as more suitable for you versus those that would not be considered suitable for you. So the next factor we're going to be looking at is this column here, which is the Sharpe ratio. That's this column here below where my mouse cursor is. Not the rows that you can see being highlighted, but the actual column running vertically from top to bottom. We can see some numbers here starting with 8.266 down to 7.316, 6.977 and so forth. So the Sharpe ratio, what is the Sharpe ratio, you might be asking? So we'll just quickly flip to Investopedia. The Sharpe ratio we can see here in this paragraph tells us whether a portfolio's returns are due to smart investment decisions or a result of excess risk. This measurement is very useful because although one portfolio or fund can reap higher returns than its peers, it is only a good investment if those higher returns do not come with too much additional risk. The greater a portfolio's Sharpe ratio, the better its risk-adjusted performance has been. A negative Sharpe ratio indicates that a riskless asset would perform better than the security being analyzed. Now we can substitute a few words there and replace them with the word system. So I'll read this again using the word system. The Sharpe ratio tells us whether a system's returns are due to smart investment decisions or a result of excess risk. This measurement is very useful because although one system can reap higher returns than others, it is only a good system if those higher returns do not come with too much additional risk. The greater a system's Sharpe ratio, the better its risk-adjusted performance has been. A negative Sharpe ratio indicates that a riskless asset would perform better than the system being analyzed. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So basically we want a positive figure here. We'll scroll down and have a look at some other numbers. And again, pay attention to the shape and look of the equity curves here on the left-hand side, and also the number of trades done and length of days in the first column. You can see going down 4.8, 4.7, 4.6, 3.9, and so on. Okay, there's loads and loads of systems there. Lots of systems to choose from. If you go to awesometradingsystems.com, you can find, it'll be a website, and you can opt in to get access to this list of all of these systems. You can get not just a list of systems, you can get so much more. You can analyze all of these systems in so much detail. Just scrolling back up to the top here. So awesometradingsystems.com is where you can basically find where all these systems are hiding. So that's the Sharpe ratio. So you want really, as well as looking at all of the other factors, like whether the system's been tested for a long enough period of time, whether it's done enough trades to really be considered as a decent sort of test, the average trade length, whether that's appropriate for you and suitable. In other words, whether it's easy for you to trade on that time length. The profit factor we looked at in the previous video. So the Sharpe ratio is another thing to take into account. For example, it's no good having a system that seems to be quite good and has some phenomenal returns, which normally you think would be great, but if it ends up being a system like this, I've just clicked on that column again to sort them into reverse order. You can see these are the terrible systems, so you might have had some good returns, but if it's all done with a high amount of risk, then you have a very low Sharpe ratio or negative Sharpe ratio, which is what you don't want. So stick to systems that have, first of all, a positive Sharpe ratio to start with, and hopefully a reasonably high number. So as I said before, have a look at awesometradingsystems.com, and you'll be able to, through that site, get access and find all of these systems, and you can subscribe to the systems if you wish. You can follow them. You can even follow them on an auto trade facility. Okay, but we'll talk about more about that later. Hopefully that's been helpful for you, and we'll see you in video 7.